Q.
It is deep dive time, and it is round one. North Melbourne are playing Port Adelaide today. I want to go back to some famous round one moments. All the guys have picked one each, but I want to start with a North v Port Adelaide one. This was one of the most famous days in the history of football. Not a great one. This was Wayne Carey, obviously, having to announce to his, to his club and the football world that he would no longer be playing. And Anthony Stevens, the man he hurt through that period, went on and become the captain of North Melbourne. They went to Port Adelaide, massive underdogs, Damo. You probably remember this one. Yep. Glenn Archer kicks the sealer, and these scenes after the game I'll never forget. So the emotion, they were carried off the ground. Archer for his 200th, and Anthony Stevens just for what he had been through. So it's a famous thing from round one. Wasn't a great time for a lot of people at North Melbourne, but brave night for Anthony Stevens that night.
And then when the Crows played North some weeks later at the then Colonial Stadium, it had another chapter to it. That was absolutely electrifying that night, especially when Arch and Duck sort of almost shaped up to each other, and it was quite extraordinary.
So what we want to do here is go back to some famous round one moments, Kano, and you've got one from Footy Park, which was pretty famous.
Absolutely favourite player, Tony Modra. Just kicked 13 in 1994 up against a great opponent, the fullback of the century. He's just on fire. I was in the ground, in the stadium as an 11-year-old here with my brother Chad, and Dad was coach. He was like nothing you've ever seen. He's an absolute rock star in Adelaide. Eddie Betts maybe came close for a period there, but nothing has ever been as big as Tony Modra in Adelaide, and this was a great night.
How many?
Start for the Crows. He kicked 13, Bill, on Stephen Silvani.
13 goals.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
The biggest thing, as you said, came in Adelaide. And TJ, this was a sad one, this one.
Well, it was. I've got to go back not that far long ago. 2016 was the first game here involving Collingwood, and Dane Swan, unfortunately, just an out-and-out champion, and that's when he did his ankle, the Liz Frank, I think it's called, to be specific, and that was it. It was curtains, as it turned out, for Dane Swan, and it really did dent Collingwood's chances. I mean, from a morale point of view, it obviously, sort of was quite debilitating for them. Just from a morale point of view, it was quite debilitating for them, and as a result, they finished 12th that year. So, and we never saw Dane Swan play football again.
I've got a bit of a funny one here. You go back to 2012. Matty Scarlett and Hayden Ballantyne. Here he is. And then Matty Scarlett just goes... Bang! Bang!
Why do we laugh?
To round one. Why are we laughing? I love Matty Scarlett as a player, but I like Ballantyne as a player too, I must admit. I like the way he went about it and got undersides guards.
How many weeks did
it
he
was
get
good.
Hey? How many weeks did he get? 3?
No, he got 500,000 cash for doing it. Mate, he had team and opposition players texting him saying, "Well done, that was fantastic."
Lloyd, in '87, West Coast and Brisbane Bears came into the competition. They weren't expected to do too much, the Bears. They played North Melbourne in their very first game. And then post-match, had no idea what to do by way of celebration. Sheets with the words of the club song were handed out, and there they went. So Peter Knight's coach, Paul Cronin chairman. Yeah. And Christopher Skase owned them. I think that was still the case, wasn't it, at that stage? It didn't go all that well after that, did it? No, it didn't go.
Round one, 1996, and Yablet, here he is, the great man, Gary Ronnie Burns. Look at Ablett, just around the corner, thank you very much. He kicked 9 at round one, 1996. He was on fire. Could he play? Have a look at this one between two. He gets it, just gets up. This is what he was very good at, and just bounces it through. He was on fire. I think I kicked about 6, so we had 15 between us. But I reckon Hurd went to him and played on him. Hurd? Actually, it's Melbourne.
Melbourne.
There's another one. Gary, there's another Hurd. There's a young, what was his name?
You were retired.
Robert Herbie.
You were retired by
Anthony
that stage.
Ingerson played on him.
Shut up. Actually, I got sacked by then.
Anyway, some amazing round one moments. No more.
No more. Okay, good. All right. We'll take a break here on the Sunday.
Actually, I've got one more. It was round one, 2006, and Leo Barry was U-Star in the grand final 2005. It was, where's the runner coming from? Because he was dragged in round one of 2006. It was 6 goals, Bill, in the first quarter. First quarter against Leo Barry, 6
That's
goals.
a good start, isn't it?
Well, that was,
how many did you kick?
I actually kicked 8 in the end, so Teddy Richards did a good job after that, Bill.
2.
So, anyway... I've reminded Leo of that a million times.
And you've just done it again. All right.